Imagine waking up each day and not feeling completely swept away by everything coming at you, but instead feeling anchored, purposeful, really feeling like you're in control of your own direction. Picture a life where your actions aren't just like knee-jerk reactions to what everyone else wants, but deliberate steps. Steps aligned with what really matters to you deep down. What if just a few minutes, maybe right when you wake up, could actually change your entire day, guiding your energy, sharpening your focus, even helping you handle those curveballs life inevitably throws, maybe with a bit more grace? We're talking about something pretty simple, actually, but really profound. It's a practice, a powerful shift from just drifting along to actively directing things. The habit of setting intentions. So today, yeah, we're taking a really insightful deep dive into exactly that. The habit of setting intentions. Start your day with purpose and focus. And look, this isn't about, just wishing for stuff or making some vague list. Not at all. This is a tool, a really powerful, actionable tool for honestly deep personal growth, for boosting your mental well-being, and yeah, maybe even for manifesting the kind of life you actually envision for yourself. We've pulled together insights from, well, all over the place for you, from classic self-help wisdom to like cutting-edge psychology research and even some fascinating stuff coming out of neuroscience. The goal here is to peel back the layers on this, really see what it's about. Our mission really in this deep dive is to unpack what setting an intention truly means, and importantly, draw a really clear line between intentions and the goals we're always talking about. We want to shed light on the benefits some might surprise you, and most importantly, give you practical stuff, strategies you can use, like right away, today. We'll explore how these maybe subtle shifts in your morning can create real, tangible impacts, empowering you to live more mindfully, operate with more purpose, and line up what you do every day with what you value. It's like giving you the rudder, right, to steer your own ship. Okay, let's get into it. Let's unpack this. So, first things first, let's tackle maybe the biggest misunderstanding around this whole topic. This idea that intentions are just, well, goals by another name, or maybe a softer, fluffier version of goals, because we've all had it drilled into us, right? The SMART framework for goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. And hey, that framework is super valuable, no doubt. Essential even for mapping out outcomes, hitting those milestones. But intentions, they operate on a totally different level, a different kind of dimension, really.
Yeah, that's absolutely it. That distinction is fundamental, and it's where a lot of people get a bit confused. Goals, like you said, are all about achieving something concrete, usually measurable out there in the future. Think about it. Redecorate the living room by the end of the month. Run that marathon in under 4 hours. Or even, the big ones like become CEO in 10 years. These are external. They're future focused. You can tick them off a list. Intentions, though, they shift the focus completely inward. They're about who you want to be, how you want to feel right now. In this present moment, it's much more of an internal commitment, something that really aligns with your core values, your desired state of being.
That's a huge pivot, isn't it? Less about the thing you get at the end and way more about your internal state, like the quality of your being. A vibe, maybe? It's your why, right? The reason behind your choices, your actions, your decisions. So instead of saying, I want to earn more money, that's an outcome. An intention digs deeper. It asks why you want that. What's the feeling underneath? So maybe the intention becomes, I want to feel more secure and stable, financially speaking. Or I want to experience more freedom and flexibility with my money. See that shift. It moves from trying to control the outside world to actually cultivating your inside world. And that feels much more powerful somehow.
It is more powerful because the external thing, the money, it's usually just a means to get to the feeling. It's not the feeling itself. When you anchor your intention in that feeling, security, freedom, whatever it is, you connect with something deeper, something you can actually influence right now. Take a common work goal. I need to finish this report today. Okay, that's an outcome, a goal. But an intention for that same work, it might sound like today I intend to stay focused and really minimize distractions. Or maybe today I'm going to approach my work with like joyful creativity. Say, it's not about finishing the report per se, it's about the state of mind you bring to it, the experience you have while you're doing it. You can choose that state right now.
Oh, that's a brilliant way to put it. Embodying a quality, bringing a certain energy. And that flows right into how intentions connect with your values, your identity, who you really are.
Right.
They seem deeply tied to who you're striving to be. Like being a better person, whatever that means to you, living authentically, defining what you stand for. So you're shaping not just what you do, but how you show up, the impact you have. I like analogies. Think of goals as the destination on your map, like get to the Grand Canyon by sunset. Okay, clear destination. Intentions are more like the compass and maybe the attitude guiding how you make the trip. Today, I intend to be fully present, Soak in every view, marvel at the journey, not just rush to get there.
hmm And linking that to the bigger picture, it's really about grounding what you do every day in what
hmm
you truly value most. Intentions give you that anchor, a reference point you can keep coming back to, especially when things get chaotic, which they do. If your intention is, say, to be present, even if your day blows up with urgent demands, that intention pulls you back. It's like an inner compass, always pointing towards who you aspire to be, rather than just chasing external validation or ticking boxes. And here's something else, something quite deep. Our intentions, whether we realize it or not, tend to spring from one of two places, either from a place of love or a place of fear. And understanding which one is driving your intention, that can seriously steer your whole life, your energy.
Wow.
Right.
Okay. Love versus fear. That feels significant. Can you maybe give an example how recognizing that might change things? Because I suspect a lot of us operate from fear without even knowing it. Like it's just the default setting.
Well, absolutely. It's often very subtle, but the difference is critical. Let's take an intention like, I'm going to work harder and longer hours today. Okay. Now, if that's driven by fear of missing a deadline, fear of not being good enough, fear of the boss's judgment, what's the energy behind that? It's likely draining, maybe even feels punishing. You might work the long hours, yeah, but you end the day feeling wiped out, resentful, unfulfilled. The process itself is a struggle. But imagine that same intention, work harder and longer, coming from a place of love, maybe love for the work itself, a real desire to contribute something meaningful, joy in getting better at a skill, or genuine care for the team's success. Suddenly, the energy is totally different. It's fueling you. It's passion, not anxiety. You might still put in the hours, sure, but the experience is night and day. So the insight is how you approach your intention, the emotional fuel behind it, is just as crucial, maybe more crucial than the intention itself. It shapes the journey, your well-being, and whether the result feels good or just empty.
That makes so much sense. And it really brings us to the transformative power here. Why does this difference between goals and intentions matter so much in real life? Because let's be honest, a lot of us feel like we're just drifting, you know? Blown around by email surprises, other people's agendas, the news, like a boat without a rudder, just tossed by the waves. Intention setting feels like a way to grab that rudder back, to regain some sense of control of forward movement, staying true to yourself even when things get crazy.
Exactly. It's a fundamental shift from being purely reactive to proactively shaping your day. When you set an intention, you're consciously deciding, this is the energy, the quality I'm bringing today. You inject purpose. And that conscious choice, it really boosts overall well-being. It improves decision-making because you've got that inner compass working for you. It elevates your quality of life. It helps cut down on stress, too, because you feel less like a victim of circumstance, more grounded. And it naturally sharpens your focus on what truly matters to you. You're building like a psychological buffer.
And the ripple effect, that's really fascinating too. It's not just about you, is it? Setting an intention changes your emotional energy, your state. And that energy, it radiates out. It affects everyone you interact with, your colleagues, your family, the person at the checkout counter. Some people talk about how thoughts and intentions might influence the water in our bodies, and we are mostly water. It's an interesting idea. But even just thinking about the belief in that internal impact, imagine the subtle shifts inside you when you consciously choose positivity, focus, kindness, and how that energy then just naturally extends outwards, shaping your interactions in ways you might not even consciously notice.
It's a powerful concept, isn't it? That our internal world isn't isolated. It has real effects. And this interconnectedness brings us right to how intentions foster mindfulness, self-awareness, and, yeah, accountability. Intentions pull you into the present. They encourage you to focus right here, right now, and act with purpose, not just go through the motions. They also make you pause and reflect. What really matters to me, which helps you own your choices, your behavior, instead of blaming circumstances. And when your thoughts and actions line up because of that intention, internal friction goes down, stress reduces, focus sharpens, you're operating with integrity.
Okay, so intentions are definitely different from goals. But, and this is where it gets really cool, they actually help you achieve your goals. It's not either. They work together. Goals are what you achieve. Intentions are the mindset, the energy, the way of being that gets you there. Because without that right mindset, that internal alignment, man, it's so easy to get sidetracked. Lose motivation, procrastinate, talk yourself out of it before you even start. You know that saying, when you have clarity of intention, the universe conspires with you? It's that underlying clarity, that inner compass that really fuels the journey towards those big goals.
Precisely. Intentions become the bedrock, the stalwart of goal setting, as you put it. That unwavering commitment to a way of being makes achieving the goal much more likely. And this leads us to maybe one of the most potent uses of intentions, tackling obstacles, especially the internal ones, the ones inside our own heads. Because if we're really honest, for many of us, the toughest relationship we have is with ourselves, right? That inner critic that never shuts up. The tendency to see the glass half empty, always putting others first, taking criticism way too personally, needing that constant approval from outside. Intentions can be an incredible tool to start addressing and reframing those deep, often unconscious patterns.
Ah, yes. This is where it gets really exciting because it's not about pretending the past didn't happen or erasing struggles. Not at all. It's about using those things as fuel, as a launch pad. You can look back at challenges, setbacks, and with intentional awareness, find the learning lessons hidden there, especially in that tricky relationship with yourself. It's about consciously shifting how you see yourself. Not to stir things up externally, but to rewrite your internal story from a place of strength, to manifest new goals that genuinely serve you. You can even take what you might see as flaws or past mistakes and reframe them as roots of expertise, like they give you depth, compassion, unique insight because you've lived through them.
It's a truly radical perspective shift. Instead of being defined by the past, intentions let us become the architects of our future selves, consciously. So understanding this, you can set very specific intentions like, I intend to learn from mistakes, not just beat myself up over them. Or, I intend to pay compassionate attention to my self-talk, shifting from critic to coach. Maybe, I intend to prioritize my own well-being, knowing I can only truly give from a full cup. Or, I intend to walk with my head held high, owning my inherent worth. And crucially, I intend to find validation from within, not chase it externally. These are profound shifts in being. They directly impact your ability to break through self-imposed limits and create a path aligned with who you truly want to be. It's about deep self-compassion, real inner transformation.
That's incredibly empowering, using the past to build future strength. Love that. Okay, so we get the what and the why. How do we actually do this? What's the practical toolkit? How do we set intentions that actually work? Well, the first thing, maybe the most impactful, make it concrete. Write it down. And maybe even more crucial, be consistent with it. Engage with it regularly. It sounds almost too simple, but the research is clear. Writing intentions down makes you way more likely, like studies show up to 74% more likely to actually follow through. It fights that out of sight, out of mind thing.
It really does. The physical act of writing it down or typing it out gives it substance, makes it real for your brain, helps prioritize it. And there are loads of ways to do it. Journaling works great daily, weekly, whatever fits. Sticky notes are fantastic. Put them where you'll see them. Mirror, laptop, fridge. Or use your planner, phone reminders. Some people love creating visual things like a vision board or a mandala focused on their intention. Others use symbolic objects, maybe something by the bed or even under the pillow as a private reminder. And consistency, like you said, is absolutely key. Checking in daily, weekly, monthly. That builds self-awareness, tracks growth, keeps you accountable. Just taking a few moments at the end of the day to reflect, how did it go? That reinforces the whole practice.
Right. Now, this next bit might sound slightly contradictory given we just separated intentions from SMART goals, but you can actually borrow elements of the SMART framework to give your intentions more clarity, especially for those more, feeling-based ones. Spiritual growth, personal development. While intentions are open-ended, a little precision helps make them feel more tangible, more actionable. So you can make your intention specific. Get clear on the feeling or state you want, instead of just being more spiritual, maybe. I intend to deepen my morning meditation to feel more inner peace and connection during my day. Much clearer picture, right? Measurable. Okay, feelings aren't numbers, but you can track progress. How? Maybe journal about your meditation. Notice changes in your emotional state day to day. Are you feeling calmer, more grounded, more aware? You're measuring the experience. Achievable. Keep it realistic. What can you actually commit to? Maybe meditating 20 minutes daily is doable to work towards that inner peace, rather than setting some huge, overwhelming goal you'll drop in a week. Relevant. Does this intention truly align with your bigger picture, your core values? Does meditation support your goals for mindfulness, less stress, a more centered life? Yes, great. Time-bound. Even for feelings, a time frame can help. Maybe commit to the meditation practice for 3 months, then check in. Or schedule. It gives structure to the cultivation.
It's really about taking that big, sometimes fuzzy feeling and putting it in a container, giving it a structure so you can engage with it consistently and mindfully watch it grow. It doesn't kill the vibe, it just gives it a pathway. And speaking of feelings, that brings us to another super critical piece, focusing squarely on the feelings. Not just the actions or outcomes you think will get you those feelings. We do this all the time, right? Attach feelings to outcomes. If I get X, then I'll feel worthy. If I have Y, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But The real juice is in identifying the feeling you want directly and focusing on that, kind of separating it from the specific external thing.
Exactly. Define the feeling you want. That's the what. And then this takes courage. You got to let go of the how. Trust that life, the universe, whatever you call it, will show you the way to that feeling. I heard a great story about this, someone writing a birth intention instead of a detailed birth plan. Instead of listing every single thing they expected from others, their intention was simply to feel supported throughout pregnancy, birth, and postpartum.
Oh.
And apparently, what unfolded was way beyond what they could have planned. More help, more resources, more aligned support than they imagined. It shows the power of focusing on the feeling and letting the how surprise you.
That's a perfect illustration. Align with the feeling, and things often seem to fall into place in unexpected ways, rather than you having to micromanage every step, which leads right into the language you use. This is important. Frame your intentions in the present tense, like affirmations, as if it's already true. So not, I want to be healthy, but I am healthy, or I feel energized when I wake up. And crucially, keep it positive. Focus on what you want to invite in, not what you're trying to avoid. So instead of, I don't want to get sick, frame it as, I feel vibrantly healthy and strong.
Yes, and get super specific about those feelings. Healthy is okay, but what does it feel like for you? Is it feeling strong in my body and clear in my mind? Is it feeling energetic all day, no slump? The more vivid you make the desired feeling, the easier it is for your brain to grab onto it, to imagine embodying it right now. That's where the magic starts.
That precision in language really helps your brain internalize it, makes it feel less like a wish and more like a reality you're stepping into. Now, when to do this? The best time, hands down, is right at the start of your day, before the chaos hits, before your mind gets cluttered. Could be while you're still in bed, just breathing. Could be in the shower, sipping your coffee, or during a quick meditation. The real trick is to link it to something you already do every morning. Habit stacking. That makes the intention setting itself become almost automatic, woven right into your routine.
And then, okay, you've set the intention, you've cultivated the feeling, maybe the time frame passed, or you achieved something related. What then? There's this idea of release. It's often overlooked, but really powerful. It doesn't mean you ditch the feeling, but you consciously release the attachment to that specific intention. It's like acknowledging, okay, what I intended is now part of me. It's integrated. It's not a quest anymore.
Exactly. Like planting a seed, tending it, harvesting the fruit. Once you've enjoyed the fruit, you prepare the soil for the next planting. And the release can be symbolic, which helps psychologically. Maybe safely burn the paper you wrote it on, tear it up, use water-soluble paper and watch it dissolve. Or just mentally release it if it was a visual thing. When a time frame ends or a project finishes, it's a natural point to pause, reflect, and then set a new intention. It allows for continuous growth, exploration, staying aligned as you evolve.
Okay, that really covers the foundations, the why, and the basic how. Great stuff. But, for people who want to take this further, really optimize it, are there more advanced techniques, maybe tapping into things like neuroscience, to make intentions even more potent? Because that's where things can get really interesting, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now we move from just having good intentions to making them strategic. And this brings us to a really fantastic concept called implementation intentions, sometimes called the if-then power play. It's a strategy from psychology developed by Peter Gallwitzer back in the 90s, and it's incredibly effective for hitting goals, building habits, changing problematic behaviors. See, a typical goal is broad. I want to achieve X. But an implementation intention is super specific. If situation X happens, then I will perform response Y. The genius is it specifies the when, the where, and the how. It basically automates the response you want.
Whoa, so it's not just a wish, it's like pre-programming yourself, a specific response to a specific trigger. And how does that work, like in the brain? That sounds fascinating.
It is. When you create that if-then plan, the if part of the situation, the cue becomes highly activated in your mind. You become much better at noticing it. So when that situation actually occurs, the then part, the behavior you planned, happens almost automatically, without conscious effort or willpower. It kind of bypasses that moment of hesitation or decision-making where we often falter. This frees up your mental energy, helps you avoid distractions. It's called strategic automaticity.
Strategic automaticity, I like that. It cuts through the mental debate.
Exactly. No debating, no willpower drain fighting distractions. The brain just sees the F and executes the then, almost like a reflex. Think about practical examples. Problem. You get home, flop on the couch, watch TV instead of tidying up. Solution. If I get home before 7 p.m., then I will immediately spend 15 minutes tidying my room. Or problem. Afternoon energy slump, need activity. Solution. If it is 12:30 p.m., then I will walk to the shop to buy a healthy snack. The The keys are the then applies only when the if happens, and the then describes the desired action, not the goal or the problem itself.
And you're saying there's actual proof this works, like studies. It's not just a nice idea.
Oh, the evidence is incredibly strong. It really goes beyond just meaning well. Look at voting studies.
Yeah.
People who made a specific plan when they'd vote, where from, what they do before, were over 4 percentage points more likely to actually vote than those just intending to. Flu shots. Employees prompted to write down the exact date and time for their shot. 4 points more likely to get it. Small prompts, big difference.
Wow. And for health goals, those can be tough.
Especially tough. But look, women using implementation intentions for breast self-exams hit 100% follow-through, compared to only 53% without the specific plan. And get this, obese women using if-then plans for diet and exercise lost twice the weight, 4.2 kilograms versus 2.1 kilograms in just 2 months, and ate more fruits and veggies too. It's powerful for things where the immediate effort feels harder than the long-term benefit, which is classic health behavior stuff.
That's amazing. Just a simple if-then structure. And it works for emotions too, like staying calm.
Yes. Studies on things like fear of spiders showed that having the plan, if I see a spider, then I will stay calm and relaxed, significantly reduced fear and disgust compared to just intending I won't get frightened. It preempts the reaction.
Okay, this makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much of our struggle isn't about lacking good intentions, but just lacking the structure to make them happen automatically?
Exactly. Implementation intentions provide that structure. They prepave the neural pathway.
Right.
They even help shield you from unwanted thoughts or feelings like cravings if you're dieting or distracting thoughts during sports. They act like a mental buffer, protecting your goal.
Okay, if that wasn't cool enough, let's shift gears slightly. Let's talk about something connecting neuroscience, maybe the law of attraction idea, and gratitude, the 17-second rule. Yeah. Intriguing name. The idea is holding a thought with focus and intention for at least 17 seconds starts to manifest it. Make it real.
Yeah, it's a concept that bridges a few ideas. At its core, from a neuroscience view, is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Think of thoughts creating neural pathways, tiny trails at first. But the more you focus on a specific thought, the stronger that pathway gets. It becomes a highway. Focusing intensely on one thought for 17 seconds signals to your brain, hey, this is important, prioritize this. You're strengthening that specific neural connection deliberately.
And when the brain prioritizes it, what happens then?
It engages your reticular activating system, the RAS. Think of the RAS as your brain's filter or bouncer. It decides what gets your attention out of all the noise. So if you're holding that thought dream job, let's say for 17 plus seconds with focus, your RAS starts actively scanning your environment for anything related. Suddenly, you start noticing relevant opportunities, conversations, articles, things you might have missed before, because your internal filter is now tuned to dream job.
Okay, so it primes your perception, but there's more to it, right? The feeling part.
Absolutely crucial. It's not just thinking, it's feeling. When strong positive emotions are tied to that thought, excitement, joy, relief, your brain releases neurochemicals like dopamine and serotonin. These chemicals enhance focus, boost motivation, and make the thought feel incredibly real, very vivid. This emotional charge amplifies the whole process, making manifestation feel more tangible, more energized. It creates a powerful internal feedback loop.
And this connects to ideas like the law of attraction that attracts principle.
That's where that connection is often made. The idea being that thoughts and feelings have a vibrational frequency. Focusing for 17 seconds generates enough energy, supposedly, to start attracting similar frequencies. And they say if you can hold it for 68 seconds 4 times 17, you reach a state of powerful alignment, accelerating manifestation. So 17 seconds focused on abundance starts attracting abundance. 17 seconds on fear, well, you attract more fear. It really highlights the need for mindful focus, interrupting those negative loops.
Okay, and the secret sauce in all this, you mentioned gratitude.
Gratitude is huge. From both neuroscience and law of attraction perspectives, it's seen as one of the highest, most powerful emotional states. Practicing gratitude releases those feel-good chemicals again, improving mood, enhancing focus. It literally starts rewiring your brain to look for the positive. It becomes a positive feedback loop. Appreciate more. Find more to appreciate.
How does it amplify intention setting specifically?
It shifts your focus instantly from what you might lack to what you already have. This reinforces the belief that your desires are achievable, within reach. It builds confidence, expectation. When you combine gratitude with a 17-second focus on your intention, feeling grateful as if it's already happened, that's incredibly potent. It signals readiness to receive.
So putting it all together, for someone wanting to consciously shape their reality, what's the takeaway?
It means you have tools, a time frame, 17 seconds. and amplify your gratitude.
So you start with a clear, feeling-based intention. Visualize it for at least 17 seconds, really feeling the positive emotions, joy, excitement, relief, gratitude, like it's already real. Then, consciously bring to mind things you're genuinely grateful for right now, especially things that align with or support that intention. And you repeat this daily, consistently building those neural pathways, deepening that emotional resonance until it becomes your natural state, your reality. Okay. Powerful stuff. But let's get real again. Life isn't always smooth sailing. Distractions happen. Curveballs get thrown.
Ah.
How do we actually navigate the messy reality and keep this practice going when things get tough?
That's such a crucial point. Acknowledging and preparing for challenges is key to making this stick long term. It starts with a kind of personal inventory, a really honest look at yourself. What's your current emotional state usually like? Mental state, spiritual, where are your vulnerabilities? Where are your strengths? If you know you get easily distracted by your phone or your mood dips in the afternoon, anticipate that. Plan for it instead of being surprised by it every time.
So identify your weak spots almost, your patterns.
Exactly. Notice the patterns. When do you get distracted? What situations trigger unhelpful emotions? Mid-afternoon slump.
Oh,
Checking social media first thing. Once you know your triggers, you can design specific, tailored strategies. If focus is hard, maybe you need a truly distraction-free zone for your intention setting. Or maybe shorter, more frequent check-ins work better. Use mindfulness techniques. If it's more emotional challenges, maybe it's about proactively building support systems, talking to a mentor, a therapist, trusted friends.
right. Build your defenses and support network. Okay. But what about those days when everything just goes haywire, despite your best efforts?
Yeah, the reality is some days will just be a whirlwind. You might not get to consciously act on your intention exactly as you hoped. And when that happens, because it will, the key is self-compassion. Accept it. Don't beat yourself up. Tomorrow is a new day, a fresh start. Remember, the intention isn't your only focus. You still have life to live. But it acts like that rudder, gently steering you back toward what matters most, even while you're navigating the choppy waters.
Gentle reminders, not rigid rules. I like that. And self-compassion is key.
Which leads right into reflection, right? Looking back.
Yes. Daily reflection is incredibly powerful for growth. At the end of the day, take just a minute or two. How did it go with your intention? Acknowledge any progress, even tiny steps. Pat yourself on the back. And if you got pulled off course, no judgment, just get curious. How did it happen? What were the factors? What could you maybe try differently tomorrow?
So it's about critical thinking, but kind critical thinking.
Yeah.
Understanding the why.
Exactly. Why did it happen and how can I adapt? It builds resilience. It reminds you every day is a new chance to align. And to make it a real habit, weave it into your routines. Maybe create a physical reminder, like an intention board. Share it with someone for accountability, maybe. Honestly, the more you practice, the easier it gets. It's all about building that momentum, that consistent self-awareness over time. Okay, we have covered a lot today. It's clear intention setting is way more than just goals. It's deep. It's about consciously choosing who you want to be, how you want to feel, grounding your actions in your values, your desired inner state. We talked about the huge benefits boosting energy, better decisions, less stress, even helping achieve those big goals. Plus, those powerful techniques, tweaking SMART for clarity, the precision of if-then plans, the cool neuroscience behind the 17-second rule, and how gratitude just supercharges everything.
You really do have a full toolkit now, a deeper understanding to shift from just reacting to life to actively co-creating it, one intentional moment after another. It's a journey, really, a conscious way of living.
So here's something to chew on as you go about your day, maybe think about for tomorrow morning. If your thoughts really are like seeds, seeds with the power to grow into your reality, to shape your whole experience, what specific feeling-based intention are you going to plant first thing tomorrow? What conscious choice will you make? And how might that single choice start to reshape not just your day, but maybe everything, your whole trajectory? Think about it, set it, and then just watch what unfolds.